A few years ago, I was trying to send a friend's sister to sleep, who I used to take care of. She would be about 3 years old at that time and she resisted to sleep. She asked me why she had to go to sleep and I answered that because it was already late, time for the little girls to go to rest. She pointed to an empty corner of the room and said, "And that girl, why doesn't she have to go to sleep?" When I was young I used to take care of my youngest nephew. He was 2.5 years old. More than once he told me about a woman who visited him at night and sang to him. He only said his name was Franny, that he had a red dress and that he floated. 2 years ago I was taking care of a niece and we were looking at the pictures of the yearbook of my elementary school. When we saw the picture of a second-year group, he put his finger on the face of a child and exclaimed, "He looks a lot like Nicolás." "Who is Nicolás?" I asked him. As I continued to see pictures, he answered without muttering, "It's the boy who comes out of my closet." The innocent wisdom of children goes beyond our understanding. My 4-year-old niece constantly tells me about her older sister, followed by the one we find alone, supposedly talking to her. But she is a unique daughter. She does not know, and there is no way for her to know, that her mother lost the baby the first time she was pregnant, years before she was born. I headed to the bathroom on the second floor of my aunt's old house when I saw my cousin, Abril, on the stairs. I was having a lot of fun making weird faces and I asked her what she was playing. "I'm making the faces that the lady in the braid does." I looked around, but there was no one else. "Where is the lady, Abril?" "She's there," she replied, and pointed to a beam that ran parallel to the stairs at the height of the ceiling of the second floor. "And what is the lady doing, huh?" she answered. "She's making funny faces." I smiled and kept going up the stairs when Abril said something that stopped me dead in my tracks, and my blood ran cold. "She has her braid around her neck." I came back and asked her to repeat what she had just said. "The lady is hanging from her braid. She's making funny faces." Then Abril began to make a face that I recognized until that moment, and it was the face of someone struggling to breathe. Once I took care of the children of a family while the parents went out to watch a movie. I took the youngest, about 4 years old, to sleep, and I started watching television until his parents arrived. The next day, the parents called me. According to the child, I stood at the door of his room and observed him for a long time with a macabre smile on my face. I was so confused that I did not know what to answer them. One night I was taking care of the children of some friends when the youngest approached me and gave me a drawing that he had made with a woman hanging from the ceiling, and said, "She asked me to draw this. She's coming for you. You should hide." For a long time I took care of my best friend's nephew, from the age of 3 to 7. Unfortunately, he died of a rare disease. He always told me about the elves who visited him at night. At first they were friendly, but then he began to fear them, because they told him that he had to go with them. When he died, his parents put the house on sale and moved out of the city. The father of my best friend is a contractor and they worked on the renovation of the house. My friend constantly helped his father. They had been working at the house for a few days when he asked me to go with him. When I arrived, my friend was alone. He took me to his nephew's room. They had knocked down a wall, and between the walls they found small passages that connected the whole house to the basement and continued down. His father said they were probably rats and would have to work hard to repair the whole structure. My friend did know what the boy told me. That's why he wanted to show it to me. We never tell anyone else. A few months ago I had to take care of 3 children because their grandmother had died and the parents did not want or could not take them to the funeral home. When I got home, a pretty big and old house from what was one of the rich areas of the city, the maid was waiting for me at the door outside the house, and before I could enter she left without telling me anything. Upon entering the house I heard that they ran to the second floor by some old and huge stairs. I approached them and the darkness was tremendous. I could not see where they ended. I did not know the children, so I asked them to come down please. I could almost feel how they looked at me, and then I heard the steps of how they moved away from the stairs and entered the darkness of the second floor. The house gave me a very disturbing feeling, so I started looking for a switch to turn on a light or even a lamp to be able to go up by the children, who I could hear walking just above me on the second floor. I looked for the kitchen. I heard noises in one of the doors. By reflex, I approached her. Underneath the door, I could see that there was a light inside that room, and then the shadows of someone walking inside. "Is there anyone here? I'm looking for a lamp," I asked. No one answered. Slowly, I approached to open the door, and before I could touch it, someone opened it from the inside, creaking like in a horror movie. It opened little by little. There were the children, about 8, 6, and 3. The oldest hugged the little one, and the one who would be about 6 was the one who had opened the door for me. I asked them to get out of there to look for something to do, but they said they wouldn't leave until their parents returned or they returned to the light. They had the only candles in the house there. It was noticeable that they had cried a lot, and the little one did not stop doing it. They are sad for their grandmother, right? Why they did not let them go to say goodbye to her or the wake? The eldest responded to me almost upset, that it was the grandmother who asked the children not to attend and wait there while she was being watched. "Don't feel bad for your grandmother," I told them. Again a bit upset, the eldest of them answered me, "We don't feel bad. We almost never saw her. My grandmother was a bad person." I didn't know what to say. I was confused. I saw that the 6-year-old kid walked behind me to close the door behind me and put the latch on. "Why are you crying then? Try not to be sad." The kid who closed the door took my hand and said to me, "We are not sad. We are scared. Grandma is up there."